Dive into the heart of Cleveland's business community with the Cleveland Burning Podcast. Join me, Kim Kitchen, owner of Burning River Marketing, and Kirk Teets, owner of Cleveland Custom Coatings, as we explore the untold stories of local business owners. In this engaging series, we focus on the setbacks, accidents, and unexpected turns that pave the way for ultimate success. So just like the Cuyahoga River ignited change in the city, our podcast showcases how adversity can spark innovation and growth. Hear from passionate entrepreneurs who have braved the flames of failure and emerged stronger and more resilient. Get ready for candid conversations and a behind-the-scenes look at the business landscape in Cleveland. What's up, Kirk?
Hey, I went out the other night. I don't go out often,
Right.
but I was awfully late getting home, so I started driving a little bit fast. I got pulled over by the police. Cop says, "Where in the hell are you driving so fast this late at night?" I said, "I was on my way to a lecture." He said, "Who does a lecture at midnight?" I said, "My wife. As soon as I get home, it'll start."
Yes, nice. That's a good one.
Jokes.
Well, welcome to the
Sounds like a
Cleveland Burning
stepdad joke, but
Podcast.
it's
Yeah,
good.
exactly. Total dad joke. Welcome to the Cleveland Burning Podcast, where we dive into stories of local professionals who've braved the flames of adversity and emerged stronger than ever. I'm your host, Kim Kitchen.
And I'm Kirk Teets, and today we're interviewing Ericka Peake from OCD Home Solutions.
Thank you.
She does organization of people's spaces. I see a lot of the stuff that you post, the befores and after, absolutely fantastic. And I love the name of your business because I've been telling people for years, I'm actually CDO. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
What is
What is
CDO?
Well, it's the same thing as
Cluttery.
OCD, but it's in alphabetical order the way it should have been.
Because it bothers you the other way. I like it.
That's funny.
Did
But
you
I don't
practice
know
that
what
last
OCD
night?
stands for. So I know what OCD Home Solutions stands for, like organize, clean, and
Organize,
declutter.
declutter, and clean.
Declutter,
Or
okay.
organize, you just messed me up.
Right,
Organize,
exactly,
clean,
that's
declutter.
Kirk's fault.
Is that it? Yeah, I just said it your way.
But the
See,
actual
CDO, that's what it should be.
the OCD for the, when obsessive compulsive disorder. So you're doing compulsive disorder, obsessive. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's in alphabetical order, though.
It is.
That is
It is
true.
totally
That
correct,
is
too.
true.
I like it.
So tell us about OCD Home Solutions, Ericka. Like, how long have you been in business? What's
We've
your
only
service
been in
area?
business for 9 months.
Okay.
Basically, what we do is we help individuals and families who are either really busy or struggle with clutter, and then we just kind of come in and give them back their space to their home or office space, and we do a lot of like back inventory for our businesses as well.
Okay. So,
Let's hear about some of the success.
Well, I mean, I feel like we've been successful that we've started out 9 months ago and we've been busy every single day
9
since
months.
we started.
Okay.
Going.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
that is huge.
I feel like we've really helped a lot of families, like a lot of families. Last year we helped 91 families
91
in 9 months.
In 9 months.
Yeah.
So you've got like 10 clients a month. That's a
Pretty
lot.
much, yeah, and like sometimes we were there for 5 days at a time.
I would think.
Yeah.
Because you're setting up like a whole process for these people.
Yeah, and
right?
then like if people move, so like I do all the packing, and then the movers come, and then they move it, and then we unpack it. So that's like a process, like you got to arrange all that. So sometimes they can last up to like 5 days.
Okay. I know you said on your website too that you do some stuff with businesses. Is businesses a good?
Yeah, we
referral?
actually just did a pest control office.
Okay.
It was kind of weird. So it wasn't weird, but it was like I wanted to make it pretty. But there's really no way to make like Space Cadet backpacks pretty and like roach
Space
back-
Cadet
and they have
backpacks.
vacuums for roaches. Like, I
Oh,
didn't even know it
gross.
was a thing. I'm like, okay. So like, I mean, I didn't feel satisfied when it was done because it wasn't like pretty.
Right.
But, so we've done that. I do a lot of like back inventory for like stores. So before I was ever in organizing, I used to be like a person that would go and do like backstock inventory for Speedway
Okay.
and like kind of get their stuff organized and under control.
So that's your background then. Actually, it's like
Yeah, well,
inventory
I poured concrete for 9
organizing.
years too, so that was
Poured
another thing.
concrete.
Yes.
Well, how was pouring concrete?
Hard, brutal, but it taught me like I think it gave me a lot of mental strength because like it taught me like I can do something that I thought I could never in a million years do. And like when you're really hot and you just want to go inside and you can't, it's a whole another challenge in your brain.
Mm.
That's tough work.
It is tough work.
That's tough work.
No, it's really hard work. I'm grateful I did it, but I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't love it. Like there was no passion in it. Like I didn't feel like satisfied at the end of the day.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
like, oh, paycheck. I was satisfied for that. But
Right,
other
right.
than that, it didn't do it for me.
So what are you thinking about for the future of OCD Home Solutions? Like it sounds like you identified a need and it's blown up. So are you now at that stage where you're like going to be hiring people and building a team?
We have 2 people now.
Okay.
But I really do need more people. The problem with the business is that it's a very hard thing to like teach and pass on. And I need a certain kind of individual that like has compassion, but is also firm enough to push people when they're having tough decisions.
Sure.
That like, I know it's just a hard thing to like teach, and like I need it replicated because when you look at a picture or I come and talk to you at your home, you're expecting that when it shows up.
Right.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So that's been my struggle. So we are currently hiring and looking for some really good individuals that could fit those needs, or like love organizing and love helping people.
How would you even vet those people out? Like, do you go to their house and like see if it's organized?
I thought about that. I thought that would be a good idea, like just randomly show up. But no, I am a person that goes off feeling a lot. Like I don't even like the Zooms one-on-ones. I don't like to do that. I want to meet you and like feel who you are.
Sure.
And so I feel like that's the judgment calls I've been making. I mean, I failed a couple times on the judgment call.
You failed a couple
Just
times?
times.
Oh,
couple times.
well, we could get into failures now if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so a couple times it hasn't been my feelings. The feelers have been off. But I think that I was just like also trying to fill a need because I needed someone to help me.
Right.
And so I pushed it a little faster instead of like going with like, maybe this isn't the exact right fit.
Right. Well, it sounds amazing. It sounds like what you're doing is a huge need, and I know you don't really work with like hoarders because that is the total. You do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we focus a lot on the mental aspect of it. That's kind of what I pride myself in, and I set myself apart.
Oh my
'Cause
gosh.
we don't just like, not every client I have is a hoarder, but
Right.
any kind of clutter and all that kind of stuff is all directly related to trauma. Like anything, it's just like it's like being a drug addict. It's exactly what it is.
I have
So
so
it's just
many
like a
clothes
need.
in my house.
Yeah,
like,
and-
what does that say about me? Like, I don't need them.
Well, I
I
would need to
haven't
hang out with you
worn
for
them.
like a day, like a
You
good
can-
day, and I would kind of know like what's going on. So either you're just really busy and you don't want to deal with it, or you're still dreaming that you're going to be that girl that you were 10 years ago,
Outside.
or that you might be like, that's the thing, we hold on to things.
The
because
bell
we,
bottoms
like,
will
oh,
come
I
back.
remember when I wore that. I looked so cute. Like, yeah, and then we just hold
I was
on
so
to it.
cute that day 6 years ago. Not getting rid of this top.
That's a lot of it is. I mean, I don't know. And I think people also think that having more things gives them worth and value. So if there's 40 pairs of jeans in your closet, even if you only wear 2 of them, I don't know. Like a lot of my clients, I think they get value off of things.
My boyfriend has a lot of baseball cards, and they are.
I have clients who have baseball
I mean,
cards.
it's a constant thing that we're talking about. Is that like get rid of your baseball cards? And he's like, but they're worth something. I'm like, well, then sell them. And he's like, but they're not. It's not a good time to sell them now. So like, what is that all
I
about?
tell people, if you're not actively displaying it,
Yeah.
using it, or if it's not truly a family like this thing is worth $10,000, there's no way it's leaving our family. Then if you're not going to sell it, you're fooling yourself, and you're being disrespectful to the item because you're literally storing it in your
That's
basement.
right. Disrespectful.
in a box.
I don't want to try that.
You are.
Yeah.
I mean, your grandma didn't give you that vase for you to stick it in the basement in the dark
You're
on the damp
disrespecting
floor
the vase.
for no one
people.
ever to see
Yeah.
until you die, and then your kids throw it in the garbage.
Right.
Because that's
Okay.
what's going to happen.
So I live by a rule, and this is true, that 13 months is the rule. If it sits in a box for more than for the 13th month, more than 1
I
year,
like it.
and you haven't touched it, you don't need it.
You don't.
Yeah.
You truthfully do not need it. This covers all the holidays. Now, if it's memorabilia or something very valuable to you emotionally, that's a different conversation.
Yep.
But if it's not truly valuable to you emotionally, something that was an heirloom handed down to you, 13 months, it should be gone.
Yeah, I mean, we all have treasures and things that are truly valuable to us.
Sure.
But like you said, like I have a lot of clients that don't even know what's in those totes.
100%.
If you don't know what's in the tote, you just gotta be. I mean, it's freeing. Like you get starting to get suffocated by the stuff. Like it just closes in and closes in on you,
It
closes
is,
in on
yeah.
you, and you're like, I have stress, I have anxiety, I can't ever find anything. I don't know why I feel like this. Well, I know why you feel like this, because like you can't wake up every morning and look at that. That is not the way to start your day. Your kids can't function. You can't function. You can't find things. You're buying things. You're spending money. It's just like. Like, you know, it really is something. This mental health.
You're like really helping a lot of people.
No, I feel really good about it. Like, I'm not trying to like sound cocky. Like,
Right.
I just do. I feel like truly I'm doing what I'm meant to do on this earth because all the words just flow out of me. Like, I don't practice this. People are like, are you going to practice? I'm like, no, just see how it goes. And I did talk to my business coach. She's
Sure.
like, you want to say it back to me? I'm like, no, because I'm not going to say it that way when I
The
get
same
there.
way, yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Well,
so
that's cool.
I just feel like I'm doing what God made me to do. And honestly, I feel like I'm helping people. And I like, you don't have to sell that.
Right.
You know what
Okay.
I mean, you walk into a room and you feel that about your business. People feel that. they don't feel like you're trying to like lure them into some like gimmick.
Right. So, well, we know you found your calling. It was not pouring concrete, but
No, it was not.
so your calling seems to be decluttering and cleaning and organizing for these people so that they can, probably have less anxiety in their life and, use their space the way it was meant to be used when they
100%.
first bought it. So, what were some failures that you encountered when you first got into business? Maybe some things that you wish you hadn't done.
I wish I would have planned it a little better. I decided that and obviously in the winter we don't pour a lot of concrete.
In the winter,
Right.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I was like, I don't want to go back. It's like springtime. Like, "Ugh, let's go back." And so I'm like, this is who I am. But I'm like, I don't know if I can make a living off of this. But I've done it like hobby wise, like, oh, for my aunts or my friends, like, oh, come do my closet.
So you were pouring concrete full time, but and then kind of doing the organizing on the
Well,
side.
not really like on the side, but like if my like friend want me to help them organize something or my mom or like, you know what I mean? Not
Right.
like a full time thing. No. But I knew that I was good at it and that I loved it. I just didn't think you could make a living off of it.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm just going to put this Facebook ad out there and see what happens. Like, I have not stopped working since that day. So I wish I would have planned it, like, had a strategy, like, had systems. Like, there's all, like, these things about, like, social media and keywords and all these things. Like, it's not like you put an ad in the newspaper anymore and, like,
That's
hope for
true.
a business. Like, this, I'm 42 years old, so I know how to use Facebook. Like, hey, how are you? Oh, my day was rough. Like, I didn't know how to hashtag and like, like it was a lot. Like, I had to have this 23-year-old kid teach me in a coffee shop how every day for 7 weeks, not every day, but every week for 7 weeks, how to use the internet. Like,
Yeah.
the way that business people use the internet. So it was that. I think that I didn't anticipate that I needed employees right away. And for like 5, 6 months, I did all this on my own. And that was a lot. And like, I gave myself no balance. So I just needed to have a better plan. But I feel going into this year, like, okay, I've learned that that's not exactly the way. And like, now I have a better strategy.
So when you were imbalanced and you were just, kind of overwhelmed probably with all of the demand that you didn't even know was out there, was there ever a point where you're just like, I'm not going to do this? Or was it
Well, I
instead
did
kind
say,
of like, I'm going to do
do
this?
you have to give your whole entire life and existence to be successful? But then I thought to myself, okay, you've been doing it for 8 months. Is that your whole entire life to be successful? Like, okay, if you want something big, you have to give something like bigger than yourself.
Amen.
Like, I wake up in the morning at 3 a.m. and I'm thinking about OCD Home Solutions. I go to bed at 8:30 at night. I'm thinking about OCD Home Solutions. Like, you have to give it, like, and I was super into health and fitness and all this stuff before, but I haven't been into that. But then I read somewhere like a dog can't chase 2 rabbits.
Right.
Like, if you really
Oh,
want something,
okay.
like, you can't like have your eyes and focus on every like little thing coming by you. So I just gave that whole year to OCD Home Solutions. Like, you're gonna like that's what I feel like. Like,
That's a good plan. So when your business is kind of like calling you, like it sounds like yours did, if you just kind of put some other things on the back burner and just give it like a whole year, and then you can maybe go when you have systems in place for that and the right employees in place, and maybe
right, and like,
maybe you go to the gym.
yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
I'm this year is like a different, like, that's my plan. Like, I'm gonna give to myself because also, like, with a lot of hoarding and stuff, it's a lot of emotion thing, and I was wearing all those clients' emotions on my shoulders, and
Yep.
like, I wasn't taking that out anywhere. Like, I was just like person after person after person, and I want to hear their stories and I want to help, but if I don't pour out of my own cup a little bit, I can't bring other people's stuff into my cup. I felt like, so that's a lesson I learned, is I don't want to have balance. I don't want to call it that. I don't want to
Right.
balance. I want to be doing OCD like this much and balance a little bit like this, but
But
I
that
have
makes
to
you
even it
happy.
out.
It sounds like.
Yeah, it does. It does. I just didn't know that people, like, I
It's
have
a
trauma,
huge
so I
need.
did things differently, but everyone does it different. And like, clutter is trauma. It
Right.
is totally a backstory. It is never because, oh, I just like things so dang much. No, it's not why.
Right.
It's never why.
It's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're saying something about the baseball card collection.
Ah, yeah.
Is he
What?
holding on to something?
Who is me?
No,
for,
my Rory.
I mean,
Rory, for
yeah,
the
if he's
baseball
never
I'm
card.
gonna,
sure
if he's never going to sell those cards in a million zillion
So
years,
he's a collector of whatever. Like, so there's this phrase,
see, he's got more
collector.
than baseball
Collectors like
cards.
to call themselves collectors instead
Yeah.
of a hoarders. But yeah, so I mean, any sports memorabilia he'll like hold on to, and even when we
Does he
like,
have like his high school stuff? Men, all men in the basement have a tote or a large like baseball bag
yeah.
of old T-shirts from high school, trophies.
What was so great about high school for these guys?
Well, the thing is though, this is what I tell them: if that memory was in that box, if it was in there, You'd be in the basement every day, like just staring in there, like, oh, I remember one. But you still remember that, and you haven't opened this box in 15 years, but you still remember all those days. I think people just think that the memory is in that box.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's inside of you. But men like to hold on to some weird stuff.
Yeah, they do.
Just like this one, I had one guy like had so many T-shirts from high school, and he thought his sons were gonna wear them.
Oh, yeah.
They're
That's
not.
not gonna
They're not gonna wear
happen.
them. They're gonna be way too cool by the time they get to that age. Like I don't want that
They're gonna
shirt.
wear their dad's
Yeah.
T-shirts.
This is why I never liked tattoos personally, because I look back at the clothes that I thought was cool that I wore. You see a picture, you're like, oh God, I can't believe I was wearing
You
that.
don't have tattoos. You
That's
look
another
like a tattoo
conversation.
guy.
That looks like that's another
I guess.
conversation. Yeah, so I was always worried though that I'd get a tattoo and then, a few
Not
years
like it,
later
yeah.
go, why did
Regret
I
it.
do that?
Yeah. I
Well,
don't-
I was told you don't put a bumper sticker on a Bentley.
There you go.
Is that why you don't have tattoos?
Oh, I have tattoos.
Oh. I thought you were saying.
When
you're like
I
a
know
Bentley.
that's my. If someone would have said that to me when I was young, I wouldn't have tattoos because that's a great way of thinking of things.
Well, I don't have tattoos, but I don't
You're a
consider
Bentley.
myself
You're
a Bentley. I
I'm
just
an old
can't- it's a
Toyota.
commitment issue, like kind of what you're saying. Like I don't want to. I imagine I wouldn't like the same thing. There's nothing that I can think of that I was in
Oh, I
love
hate
with
every
20
tattoo
years
I have.
ago that I would
I just
still
did
That
when
you
I was
still
young.
love now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, no,
Right.
I did it when I was 19 and 20 and dumb.
I mean, I would have like a My Little Pony if it was, you know what I'm saying?
I think they
Like,
might
I
be
went
cool.
through a My Little Pony phase. I mean,
was
that
a Smurf girl.
right? I mean, I wouldn't want that as a tattoo. So, and then I mean, I don't have
That's funny.
tattoos. It's a
Do
commitment
you have a
issue.
My Little Pony?
Yeah, I do. That's my tattoo, as a matter of fact.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, organizing I think is definitely a great service. I wonder if you've had any issues where people were like, when you are dealing with all this trauma, if you had issues where your clients kind of like push back and
Of course. Of course. I mean,
how do you deal with that?
so what I say is imagine someone coming into your house, even your house, however you live,
Yeah,
and going through every account. I mean, and I don't do it whole houses for everybody, so I don't want people to be like, oh my God, someone's going to go through all my things. But like when it's like that, I'm going through all your drawers, all your cabinets, all your closets, all your everything. Like I'm like, so you're exposing everything to a complete stranger. So I always go in with the mindset that if this was happening to me, I'm sure my anxiety would go up, even if I
Yeah.
want it really bad. Like it sounds awesome until I show up and they're like, oh, she's really gonna go through everything. And then so I always put myself in that kind of mindset,
yeah,
and I tell them like, I wasn't always this person. Like this took me a lot of work to get to be who run OCD Home Solutions. 3 years ago, OCD Home Solutions would not have worked.
okay.
It just wouldn't have. I wasn't developed.
Ready,
I wasn't
yeah.
ready. And so I am vulnerable with my clients and I expose myself to them so that they can like relate to it. Because people want to feel like you do understand them, but then I'm also firm enough and I have a demeanor that like, I'm funny and I make jokes
Right,
about things
sure.
and like try to push them that way, navigate. But I tell them in the beginning, like, if you really want change, you have to change. Like there's like
It's,
I
like,
can come here,
intense.
we can do a band-aid and I
Yeah.
can just fix it and leave, keep my mouth quiet, never say anything about what I see, or we can do the surgery. Like I give them options, so it's not like I just coming into your pantry and start telling you about yourself or anything. You know what I mean? It's when people want that kind of help that like I start like pushing and saying
It's like
things.
I want to hire you, but like you wouldn't make any
I'm not
progress.
judging. Yeah,
Because I feel like I've got Rory
I've had
and
life.
I
I have
live
people
together.
for life that like collections. I can help you.
Rory and I, this is a constant fight. Like, he left his underwear in the bathroom tonight, and I was like, we're never going to live like regular people. We can't have people over because our house isn't clean. Whenever he's like, I want to have my parents over, I'm like, well, make sure you clean the house. It's like, it's just not, we don't pick up after ourselves. And when he doesn't pick up after himself, then I'm just like, well, I'm not going to pick
So
up
you
after
blame it on
myself.
each other
So,
and wait for the
yes,
other to do it.
absolutely.
100%.
And nothing has a place.
Wow.
We have this one drawer where the tools are supposed to be because there's like kitchen tools. Like, this makes sense to me. There's kitchen tools. You need a hammer, you need a wrench, you need a needle nose pliers.
Every time
They're
I make
in
a
the
ham
kitchen.
sandwich, I'm like, where is that screwdriver? I'm gonna this mayonnaise
Get the
needs stirred.
hammer.
So we have the kitchen tools,
Get
and
the
then
hammer, get the sandwich together.
there's a drawer for kitchen
We're
tools.
gonna talk
Okay.
about that drawer later.
So then, but when he needs one of the things, like, we also have other tools that aren't in the kitchen. These are just for the kitchen tools.
People put things in different sporadic places, and I don't understand. Like that is the thing. Like even in the kitchen, they'll be like cups here, cups over here, plates here. Like things need to go in like areas so that like when you go to get things, like you can, okay, this is my tool drawer, all my tools are here. That, well, this screwdriver is here, but oh, that hacksaw is over that cabinet over there.
Yeah, we do need like a tool area.
Yeah, like
I'm
a
saying.
designated area. And like I'm not a bit about having nothing, but if you have controlled chaos, control it. Like if you have a bin of like candles and things like that, have a bin that has all the candles
everywhere.
in it, or like, you know what I mean, so you're not have everything everywhere, because then what's the point?
And then it's all that takes forever to get ready. Like I'll be trying to get ready, and then Rory will be like, "Where's my belt?" I'm like, "Well, you know what? The last time I wore your belt, I put it right back where it belongs. Like, I don't know where your stuff is."
You have to discipline
You should ask
yourself.
him, do you look for things with your eyes or your mouth?
Oh, why should I ask him that? He definitely looks
because
with his
every
mouth.
time he's looking for something, he just says, "Hey, have you seen it?"
Yeah, a lot of
So
guys
you're
do that.
you're looking for it with your mouth, not with your eyes.
Yeah, he does that. I'm gonna ask that the next time. He doesn't listen to this podcast. I asked him to. He doesn't. So this will be his punishment.
Tonight, he
Probably under his underwear. Just thinking, because the belt comes off before the underwear.
That's true.
Could look under the underwear.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just.
I feel like it's under the bed.
So. I don't. No one knows what's under the bed. No.
I will know if you let me over. I will help you. I'm like, oh, I'll crawl under there and get it all out.
Yeah. So when it comes to like buying bins and things, like, do you work with your clients to like set up a system?
Yeah. So not everyone can. What maybe works for you wouldn't work for you. So I go in and I like talk to you, assess like what kind of person you are, what kind of lifestyle you have. If you're gonna go to the grocery store and pour the cereal into a container, or if you're just gonna put the box up in the shelf, because that matters. Like, why would I give you all these containers if you're never a million years gonna fill them up?
Yeah.
So then we'll bin things. So like all like cereals together, all macaroni and cheeses or noodles together. You know. So I create the system like how your life actually functions, and then I provide all the materials. Like you obviously. I charge for them.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, I say everything that you're going to need, and then we bring everything with us.
So what did you gather when you saw my office? Did it look cluttery?
Honestly, I had to use the restroom real bad from the coffee on my way here, so we went straight to the bathroom.
And you have
I didn't see your office.
Yeah, that's where you came through.
You didn't even notice because it looks like
that like main room is an office.
It's very.
Yeah.
There's
I thought
no
it was like a
clutter.
reception area.
Oh yeah, and then when you walk through my office is right
I saw
there.
him in an office. And I thought, what a clean office he has.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what I
That's
thought.
because I clean it.
Well, that's good. That's good. Did you paint it?
Yeah.
There you go.
So what does it say
Okay,
about
so-
Kirk that he doesn't have clutter?
Well, he
Let's hear it.
he either probably grew up with a parent that was very strict about how your house to be clean. He's been in the military, or he lived in a house that was very cluttery, and he said, "When I grow up, I'm not going to live like that." Which one was
Interesting.
it?
The latter of the three. But I grew up poor. Me and my brothers, we used to go to KFC so we could lick other people's fingers.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, whatever you have to do to survive out there, it's a real thrill.
That's true. So we usually like to end on like a fun note, something that you're
I feel like
promoting.
this whole thing's been fun.
I know it really has been, right? I don't feel like we talked a lot about like your business coach and things that you wish you had done a little differently when you got started. Is there anything in particular that you want to promote? Is there anything we can get out to people for like having them call you, or who you'd be a great referral, or people you might want to hire? Like anything going on?
A good referral for me is someone busy parents, busy families, people who are struggling with clutter, maybe are downsizing or moving. We love packing people. That's
Downsizing and moving.
one of my favorite things to do. Yeah. So we're scheduling into February right now. So if you need something immediately, we can probably move some things around and help you as well.
Okay. What about businesses? Like I go to see my tax guy and there's stuff everywhere. No.
I would love
like,
to do that. But usually like people like who work in offices like that and like office environments kind of have quirks about how those papers are.
Yeah.
And they like know where that pile of paper is and what this is. They'll let you into like their inventory in their back offices. But an office is pretty personal and like where you put your like checkbook and where you put your invoices that need to go out.
Yep.
I've done a realtor's office and that was great because they didn't have like obviously it was a pretty thing, but like I don't know, guys are kind of hard and accountants they have
Especially.
a lot. Yeah, they've got a lot of numbers.
So I work in the painting industry, and my main guy, Nick, that I work with, told me not too long ago, he said, "I hate working with you." And I said, "Why?" He said, because you clean up while I'm still using things. He goes, I think one time you took my brush while I was still using it and cleaned it out
In
and put it
concrete,
away.
they told me I would put the tools away before we were done
Do that,
all the
do the
time.
same.
I'm like, I just want to make sure we don't forget
I said,
them.
yeah, it's just done using it, right? No, I just set it down. I'm like, well, but it was
Me
setting
too.
down, so,
Me too.
you know, I couldn't stand seeing it sitting there.
That's how I
So I
am.
go put
That's
it
how I
away.
was too. They were like, did you put that? I'm like, yeah, you said.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not me. I mean, in our house, like we've got like doors open, drawers open,
Oh
like
no, we have
cabinets
rules
open.
in my house.
And I'm like, well, why is this open? He's like, well, because I just used the onion salt and I haven't put it up yet. So it's like everything is open because that means that it hasn't been.
Yeah, we
finished.
need to do some like just a
Yeah.
consultation. You know, you
think-
guys gotta accept that one of you gonna have to budge.
Yeah.
I think you need to change that from consultation to counseling. It sounds
Yeah.
like a little bit
Well,
of that
I'm not
too.
a therapist. So I only do coaching. I can
Although
only do coaching.
Sounds like you would have great referrals for a therapist.
Yeah, but I
and
think
you'll
you
be
have to like go to
uncovering
school
that
and
stuff.
stuff before you start slapping it on your title.
Yes,
I'm
it's true.
pretty sure I can't just claim I'm a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like I'm not afraid to tell you like my experiences to get you to the other side of that. So that's where like the coaching comes in. Like
Yep.
I know how I fix me.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
let's do that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you so
Unclutter
much.
the home, you gotta go somewhere else to unclutter the mind.
100%.
Oh, look at you guys getting deep.
Yeah, no.
It's true, and
It's the truth.
You
It
guys
is
are both
so
uncluttered.
true.
It seems like.
Well, at my house, if our hand towels aren't on a certain angle, life goes into a little panic.
Oh my god.
I'm really weird about things, but now that I'm working so much, at least it's getting a little better because like I'm a little tired when I get home. So I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it'll be fine.
It's okay. But part like, who moved that 2 centimeters over? I know where it went.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah. So, well, thank you so
Yeah, this
much.
was
I
awesome.
love your
Thank you.
stories and love hearing about OCD home solutions. So, we hope our listeners are as inspired by the lessons you've learned by experiencing some failures that we were. And I got a quote from Confucius.
Oh.
Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fail. So that's Confucius apparently
if
knew
you
a few
don't
things.
succeed, you won't. If you don't fail, you won't succeed.
Right, absolutely. So
I thought it was if you're not cheating, you weren't trying. I don't know who said that, but I think it was in there somewhere.
it's true. So don't
Fake
forget
it
to
till you
tune
make
in for more interviews with local professionals as we continue to explore twists and turns that lead to triumph in the world of business. And if you enjoyed today's episode, which we hope you did, please subscribe
Subscribe.
and leave us a review because we're pretty sure that helps us reach even more listeners. So until next time, remember that every train wreck can be a stepping stone to something extraordinary. And thanks for joining us on the Cleveland Burning Podcast.
Thanks for coming, Ericka.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks,
guys for
Ericka.
having
See
me.
you
Thank
next
you.
time.
That was awesome.
Bye.